We're 28. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. And any of you guys who haven't muted, just mute your phone with the little mute button. And at the end, if we would like to, I would love to answer questions. And so this call will be about 30 minutes long, and then those of you who want to stay and listen or ask questions, you're totally welcome to, because that's kind of what this phone call is going to be about tonight. Later on, at the end of the phone call, Andrea Tesh is going to come on. She is my sponsor, and she is awesome. She is such a neat person, and she's really, really good at being a paparazzi consultant. And so she's going to hop on and talk to us at the end of the phone call. So the first thing I wanted to tell you guys all is, if you are already in paparazzi, yay, I'm excited for you. I hope you love it. If you're new, you're going to love it. If you're thinking about signing up for this business, I think this phone call will help you understand how it works. And we're going to go through the back office and show you a lot of the things that you don't get to see until you sign on as a consultant. So it's kind of fun. So for those of you on Facebook, go to the slideshow. It says Team Phone Call Slides, October 28th. If you don't have Facebook, here is the website that I put them on. And all of you listening, you might want to take notes, because this information, I think, is quite helpful. I tell it to everybody that I talk to who's new to the business. And not everybody knows all these things right at the beginning, and I think it will help you for sure. So the website, if you want to try to look instead of Facebook, if you don't have that, the website is hotsytotsy.com. So it's hotsy-totsy.com. And then once you go to hotsytotsy.com, there's a button on top that says blog. Just click on blog. And on top of that, click on the very top post. It says Paparazzi Back Office Sneak Peek Photos. It's the same set of photos that are on Facebook. All right, so usually what I do when I talk to somebody who's new, it's usually a one-on-one phone call, and I ask them why in the world they're interested in our company. So since there's more than one of you guys on the phone, I thought I would tell you why I like it. When I got into paparazzi, my sister had told me about it. She went to a party. She totally saw an opportunity there. Andrea asked her if she knew anybody who would like to sign up, and she said, yes, I do. My sister would probably do this. So my sister called me and told me about it, and this was how she said it. There's this new company. It's brand new. You have to do it before everybody else does it, and you can make a lot of money. I'm like, what are you talking about? And so she told me to go to paparazziaccessories.com and look around. Back then, the website was pretty sad, pretty wimpy looking. I didn't know a whole lot, but I took her word for it, and, of course, Andrea's word for it, because she had told her about all this. And I just said, go, I'm going to do it, because I thought, Andrea was this nice, cute girl who was making loads of money. I'm like, I can do this. I could totally do this. And I put myself up to the challenge, and that is why I signed up. I really, really think it's fun, and it's as simple as selling jewelry, but you can make it as complex if you want. Like, I enjoy to do graphic design, so I like to do my posters and stuff. And for me, that's kind of an outlet. I get to do something that I really love. For other people, they get to meet new friends, make friendships within your team, kind of like we have on our group page. You get to make money, of course. You get to be creative with your displays, all kinds of fun stuff like that. So think about why you're interested in the business, and if you can, write it down, because sometimes you forget why you wanted to do it in the first place and what your goals were, because those things, you kind of get lost in the commotion if you're really busy, or if it gets slow. You want to kind of remember where that passion came from. So that's usually what I do, is I ask you why you're interested. And then the next thing I do is ask if you have any questions. And I will open up for questions at the end of the phone call, because lots of you probably will come up with some after I explain a few things. And, of course, you can get your questions answered by the person who brought you on this call, or they can find the answer for you. Also, if you're part of our Hotsy Totsy group page, you can post a question on there. Nobody's going to criticize you for asking a question. You can ask anything you want, and we'll answer you. So keep that in mind, because, of course, you want to make an educated decision. All right, so on to these photos. This is, like, educational. I kind of want to teach you guys a couple of things. So what you could do is look at the slideshow and look at slide number 1. First, I want to tell you all, and like I said, take notes if you can, because this will help you. You know, you can go home and explain it to your husband. You can know what to tell the next person who might sign up under you. I just think this is good information to tell people. The first thing on slide number 1 is, that's my number, 2213. When you get a number, or when you look at your sponsor's number, you can see their own website. Paparazzi gives you a website with your own number. So when I meet somebody, I can tell them to go to paparazziaccessories.com/2213. Now, your sponsor will probably have you go to their own, and then that way what happens is it doesn't give you a ton, but it's free, so it's a resource that you should totally use. But what happens is when somebody is looking around on your website that had your number on it, it has all the regular paparazzi information, but if they go click sign on, your name is going to pop up, and they can, or I'm sorry, sign up, your name is going to pop up, and they'll be able to sign up under you without any further instruction. So this is a really good thing to have on your business cards, or at least to tell people when they are ready to sign up. You can tell them to go there. So you get that for free. Okay, if you go to the next one, picture number 2, this is what it looks like when you go to that website with your number. You have the option to put a photograph on there, and then you have a place to put your phone number and your email up on the right. And remember, the person who had you be on this phone call, look at their page and see if they've updated it. And if they haven't, you should tell them to, and because it's something that's really helpful, I think. And then if you click on My Story, it has a place for you to put about a paragraph of information. So My Story on mine, it just has my website address. So you can do that however you want. That is it. That is as much as they give you. You don't get a ton of stuff, but it's free, and so you should use it. Okay, the next picture, number 3, how do you log in? Now, some of you guys are new and you don't know how to order yet, because when you order the first time with your kit, it's not like this. You do what I said, where you click on sign up, and you type in your name and address and social and all that, and you buy your kit. So when you're ready to order the second time, or if you sign up for $40 so that you can have access to the back office and order your jewelry there, that way, you have to click this login button at the top of paparazziaccessories.com. So you would click login, and then if you go to slide number 4, you're going to see the username and password box, and you can type in your own username and password. And I often let the person I'm talking to go in with my username and password, but because there's so many people, we'll just do it this way. I took little screenshots. So let's see what it looks like when you log in. Hit the arrow, go to number 5. And I was talking to my husband. I'm like, should I leave my numbers on here or should I blur them out? But he's like, I'm excited that you've made money. So I left these numbers up because it shows what you can get. I would love to log into Andrea Tesch's and see how much she makes. It's really cool and really, really exciting. Anyway, this is called the back office. On the left, it talks about your team, like the amount of people you have. On the right, it talks about your paychecks and your volume. So that is a whole different training, and we can talk about that later. But what we're going to talk about now is ordering, because in order to use this business, you need to buy jewelry and then sell it, and then buy more jewelry and then sell it, and just do that forever. So what you do is once you sign in and you're in the back office, which is what this is called, then you have to click on My Orders at the top. So if you go to slide number 6, I zoomed in and it says My Orders and then New Order. And you would click My Orders and then New Order. And that will take you to the consultant catalog. That's where you're going to order your stuff. I just talked to 2 different ladies this week that didn't know how to order, so I hope this is helping you guys. And like I said, I'll turn this into a YouTube video later so you can always look back and read it or watch it. Okay, so go to slide number 7. If you click on your phone, you can't do that little pull down, so you have to click on My Orders first, and then on the left you click on the blue New Order button. Okay, go to slide number 8. This is it. This is so much fun. Now, if any of you guys want to see this in real life, talk to the person who's telling you about Paparazzi and get together with them and sit with them and look at the catalog. It is so fun. It's like going Christmas shopping for other people. It's really fun. So this is what the catalog looks like. On the left, you've got categories, and then in the middle, you've got your photos, and on the right, you've got your shopping cart. Now, it's pretty obvious how to order. You click on Add to Cart, and you buy your stuff. Now, just so you guys know, the website is kind of slow, and it's because there's all these teeny tiny pictures. If you guys can see those pictures under each necklace, there's tons of teeny tiny pictures. So the best way to order and not have your computer freeze up on you is to click on a category. So like let's say you click on necklaces, then you wait for it to load up. Wait for all the teeny tiny pictures to show up. And you'll know they're up when you can scroll to the very bottom and you can see all of them. They'll all have tiny pictures under them. Once it's loaded, then you can look at everything and write down with a pen and paper the item number. So you know what you want, but write it on paper. Don't do it on the computer. Now, this is if you're making an order that's more than like 5 things. If you're only doing a tiny order, this is not a problem. But if you're going to make a larger order, because we've had girls who put it all in and then their computer freezes and then it times out and loses their whole list. So the best thing to do, again, is to look at all the pictures, write down with pen and paper what you like, and when you're ready to totally order, click on the very top of the screen where it says Full Product List, and then you can just go through the list, and there's no pictures. So it loads really, really fast, and you can go in and add quantities. Then you're done. Then you buy your stuff. So that works super well. That is how some of our upline does it, and they've been doing it that way for a long time. It works great. So there's 3 things I want to teach you guys. The first thing is when you order from Paparazzi, after your kit, you order in packages of 5. They are variety packs of 5 by color. So, for example, if you look at this picture, on top it says 5th Avenue Brown Kit. By the way, this is photo number 8 if you just got on the call. But 5th Avenue Brown Necklace Kit number 2. It's got 5 little tiny pictures there. The large necklace is one of those pictures, and when you put your mouse over it on the live screen, not on the photo, but when you put your mouse over the tiny picture, it'll pop up where that large necklace is, and you can see what every single necklace looks like that you're getting. So it's not a surprise, which is awesome. A lot of girls sign up thinking they get surprised every time they order. No, you know exactly what you're buying, which is great. I mean, that's a perfect way to do business. And it's categorized by color. So if you click over to the next photo, number 9, this is, whoops, yeah, my computer went funny. Photo number 9 shows a little close-up of this. See how you can see each necklace? And when you put your mouse over each picture, it's going to show you the large, zoomed-in version of the necklace. So that's how you order. You have to order in 5 packs. And if you read here, it says your price, $13.75. That's how much you're paying for the jewelry. You're paying $2.75 per necklace, but $13.75 per package. So when you sell it for $5, you're making $2.25 per necklace, which is pretty good in this business. 45% commission is quite high. Okay, the next thing, and if you go to picture number 10, this is just the rings. You'll see how it's by color. You've got like your yellow rings and the orange rings and pink rings. Just that's how you order. So if you're like looking at your garage full of stuff, you're like, oh, I'm out of green bracelets, then you'll kind of know what to order. So I actually think ordering is pretty easy. It's not a huge deal because you never, ever can predict what people are going to buy. You just kind of have to guess. And if you're not knowing what to order for Christmas, stick with neutrals because that will make easier Christmas gifts for people. Like if you're nervous about what to order, stick with neutral colors like white and black, and sometimes, and silver, of course, and then sometimes red will be good around Christmas. But besides that, I would stick with neutral colors if you're only able to order a small quantity of stuff. Okay, the next thing, number 2, I want to show you guys. Number 1 is that you order in variety packs. Number 2, picture 11, there is a category on the left of the catalog called Blockbusters. If you click on any Blockbuster category, and this happens to be the necklace category, you're going to see only 1 photograph below each picture. And what that means is it's an identical pack of the same 5 necklaces. And the reason they do this is there's 2. I think one is these are better pieces. These are things that seem more valuable than $5. So they're going to sell faster. People are going to look at them and be amazed that they're only $5, and so they sell a little quicker. The other thing is, this is what I would recommend wearing around town. So, like, let's say you wear that cute red charm necklace to church, and 3 of your friends come up and say, I love your necklace. Pull out your purse and say, hey, I have 4 more in my purse. You want to buy one? And that's kind of how that Blockbuster situation works really well. Also, I would recommend highlighting a Blockbuster piece at your table, at your party, or at your booth or whatever. Put a Blockbuster necklace on, like a bust, one of those velvet necklace displays, and that's going to draw people in because it's, like, extra awesome. And then once they come to your booth, they'll get the gist that everything's $5 and start looking around. But you will sell a lot of those, and that's why you want multiples of that piece. Okay, and the third thing to teach you guys, picture number 12, is Starlit Shimmer. Starlit Shimmer is pretty cool. Now, the company normally has $5 items. And when they first started this business, little girls were coming to parties and they were bored and they felt left out. And so they added the children's line of jewelry so little girls could play along, which I think is super, super nice. So, and this jewelry is really cute. I have tons and tons of people buy this for themselves or for gifts or, you know, to spoil their kid or get them a little gift while they're at the craft show or wherever you meet them. I just did, a couple weeks ago, I did a little girl's party, and every little girl got $5, and then they got to get several things instead of just one thing. So this children's line is really cool. Now, be aware that the children's line of jewelry does not count toward you being active. It does not give your sponsor any commission. It doesn't do anything except make you extra cash. It doesn't really involve in the network marketing part of the business. So, but I would still get it. I mean, it's a really good product, but it's not our main focus. So I consider it a supplement. So, you know, highlight your $5 stuff and then, of course, sell this along with it. Now, if you look where it says your price $5, that means you are paying 50 cents a piece for a set of 10 sets of earrings. We also have rings and bracelets and headbands, too. And when you pay for those, you're paying 50 cents. The company recommends that you sell them for $1. You are allowed to sell for more than $1. So I'm going to get on my soapbox and tell you guys why I sell for more than $1, because I've tested this, and this is just my opinion. You can do whatever you want to. But when I signed up for Paparazzi, Andrea told me about the Starlit Shimmer line. I loved it. I got some, and I sold it for $1. And when I had my launch party, I invited all my church friends. Everybody came over, and they ate up the $1 stuff. They loved it. And then you could see them turn around and be like, oh, no, I better look at the $5 stuff. It was like not their priority anymore, and it made the $5 stuff seem expensive. And this happened to me at 3 parties in a row, and so at that moment, I quit selling Starlit Shimmer for the whole Christmas season. It drove me nuts because I didn't like that it was distracting from the $5 jewelry. I quit selling it, and then I found out later that you could sell it for more, and I tested a couple price points, and for me, the magic number has been $2.50 a piece or 3 for $5. And when you do that, everybody buys 3 because they're getting a better deal. I do include it in all of my hostess benefits, so if I do a hostess benefit that says something like sell 10 items, then I count a chunk of 3 as one item so they can count it toward their hostess rewards. I hope that makes sense. So like if they sell 9 regular items and 3 little girl items, it'll still be a total of 10 $5 units, and then they get 1 item free. So, and that's, you can learn more about that from your sponsor. But anyway, that's just my total recommendation is to sell it for that higher price. You can always go down to $1 if you don't like it, but I would sell it for a higher price. And the other thing that I like about that is you don't run through it so quickly. I mean, you don't want to run out of it because then you can't keep selling it. So I don't know how else to say it. I just love it. And I did go back to $1 for 2 or 3 events last summer for fun, just to see what would happen. Same problem. The problem came back. People were buying all the Starlit Shimmer, and they weren't looking at my other stuff very much. So anyway, that's what I would recommend. Of course, you can do anything you want, but that's what I'd like to teach you. Now, if you go to number 13, slide number 13, here's something people get mixed up on a lot, so I want to just teach this to you guys. On this picture here, you see Starlet Shimmer hair clips, and they are awesome. They're so cute. We just started sticking them on the hippie headbands, and they look adorable. I sold so many of those the other day. Anyway, look at the price. It says your price $13.75. These are regular items. These do count toward your volume. They do give your sponsor commission. They're $5. Don't buy these and accidentally sell them for $1 or for $3 for $5. So just be aware. I kind of wish they would move them out of that section of the catalog. Just be aware that those were on there. But check the price before you buy your stuff and make sure you understand what you're buying. Okay, slide number 14. So this is something else. Those are the three things I like to show you. That you buy in variety packs of 5, you can buy blockbusters, and then how to use Starlet Shimmer. So here's a couple little more things that will help all you guys in, if you decide to sign up and sell this, this is important to know. Shipping's always $10, so always plan to add another $10 to your budget. But if you can afford to order $400 or more, shipping is free. So I always order $400 or more. I mean, I keep myself booked out so I can order $400 or more because I hate to waste money. To me, it seems like a big fat waste, and so I always try to make a large order so that I can just keep things moving like crazy, and it works. I mean, it kind of pressures yourself to work harder. It kind of goes both ways, and then when you work harder, you sell more, and then you have to order more. So it's kind of awesome. Okay, number 15, slide number 15. I just want to tell you guys that when I signed up, I got a 250-piece kit, and it's enough to do more than one show, especially at Christmas time. So here's the deal. It is, let's say you sign up for Paparazzi and you do a launch party. My average show is 40 pieces. I think most people's average parties are 40 pieces. If you've got a hostess that's involved enough and they keep you on this calendar and you actually go to their house and sell it and everything, it's an average of 40 pieces. So if you think about that, if you have a 100-piece kit to show at the party and people buy half of that, what are you going to show at the next party? They're not going to buy every single piece of jewelry. So if you buy a 100-piece kit, you're going to have to turn around and order after your very first party. So if you guys are ready to run with this, I would recommend a larger kit. And the 250-piece kit is safe enough to not get too scared. Of course, more is always better, but you don't want to scare yourself away from the business. And so I would recommend the 250-piece kit because that way you can book a party for the very next week and do it if you want to. And then you won't be a nervous wreck and think you're going to run out of stuff. And that's what I got. And when I signed up, it was the beginning of October 2 years ago, and I was ready to go crazy with it. And so I called around and I booked myself into 10 events. And then I realized I couldn't sell only 250 pieces at 10 events, and so I turned around and ordered another 250 pieces before I even got my kit because I was just ready to go for it. And, I mean, it's totally doable. I sold $7,500 worth of jewelry my first 3 months because it was Christmas. So keep in mind that if you're going to do this, do it now. I mean, you have the chance to make the most money now and get as many people involved as you can now, which I think is smart. Of course, if you can't afford that size of kit, that's fine. There's a 100-piece kit. That's the smallest one. If you can't afford that, then there is an option to sign up for $40 and get jewelry, but you're kind of wasting $40. So if you can't decide what to do, you might be better off saving for a kit. That's my personal opinion. But talk to your sponsor about that, and they can explain your options and stuff. Okay, and number 16, we love Paparazzi. All of us here are kind of obsessed, and it's such a fun company because you get to be really creative. They're very, very lenient with their rules. There's only 2 rules that are pretty strict, so keep this in mind. One, if you're going to sign up and sell at a craft show or something, there can only be 1 Paparazzi rep. They don't want any cat fights, and so you just need to make sure there's no other Paparazzi rep, and then if you sign up, make sure you are clearly Paparazzi and you tell them nobody else can sign up for Paparazzi. And then the other rule is if you make any papers or logos, like business cards and all that, you have to use the logo that says independent consultant. Beyond that, there are not that many rules. And so you can get really creative with this business, and you can implement all the things that you like to do. Like I was saying, all your hobbies and whatever you like to do. Like if you love fundraisers, just go do fundraisers all the time. If you're a philanthropist, if you do graphics like me, then you can make posters for everybody. If you want to socialize and hold parties, hold a bunch of parties of your own. You can do anything you want with this. It's really cool. The other thing I want to tell you guys is, and I'm almost done, so Andrea can do her little, get a chance to talk, is our team, Hotsy Totsy, I'm Lisa, and it's my line of people. So whoever I've signed up and whoever they've signed up and so on. On our team, I have some special extra things that we've been doing. And we have an incentive where you can earn a charm each month if you're active. Being active means you buy 25 pieces of jewelry each month. If you do that, I will send you a charm in the mail. All the charms are going to be different. And if you can earn 9 charms before convention, then I'm going to buy you dinner at convention. So it should be really fun. I'm excited to have a bunch of people there. I hope that we can all go. But anyway, I really, really like our team. I think that you guys are going to love it. And if you have questions, get ready to ask on the phone. But let's let Andrea talk for a minute. Are you there, Andrea?
Yeah, can you hear me okay, Lisa?
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, everybody. I'm Andrea Tesh. I'm Lisa's sponsor, and Lisa's just awesome, and I'm fortunate to have her a part of my team. So kind of my story with Paparazzi is, originally when I saw Paparazzi, my sponsor was working a booth at an event, and she started telling me about it, and at the time I was working full-time, and my little boy Jackson was going to daycare. So, and my husband had just previously lost his job, so we were both working full-time, just trying to make up from both of us being out of work for 6 months or so. And so when she started telling me about Paparazzi, she told me how much she was making with it and how well that she was doing. And I loved the jewelry, and it just looked so much fun. And I was kind of just looking for something that I could do from home. So it just seemed so simple and fun, and I didn't know how I was going to find the time to do it because I worked like 50-plus hours a week, and I was also commuting an hour each way to work. So it was just, my life was busy, but I was determined to be able to stay home with my little boy, and every day I would just go to work all day long, and I wouldn't see him, and it was just really hard for me. And so when I saw Paparazzi, for me, it felt like it was kind of an answer to what I had been looking for. So I got signed up, and it happened really quickly. Like, I was just determined to make it work. And I had my launch party. I got the 250-piece starter kit. I made more than half my investment back after my first party. And after 2 home parties and a basket party, within about 2 weeks, I had made my initial $700 back. And within 2.5 months, I was able to replace my full-time income and walk away from my job, and I've never had to go back since, so I've been able to stay home with my kids, and I just love Paparazzi. I mean, besides the money that I make with Paparazzi, I have been able to meet so many friends and so many amazing women. We just got back from convention, and we have, it was in Vegas, and you get to be with all these women all across the whole United States, and you all have the same common interests. You all are trying to make a better life for yourself and for your family, and, you get to learn about fashion and trends, and, you get to meet the founders of the company, and it's such a brand new company that it's so small right now that, when you go to the convention, there's not tons of people, and you really do get to meet the founders, which is really cool. And, I've signed people up on my team, and I get letters from women who have joined Paparazzi and who have gone through, depression or just really hard things in their life. And I get to hear stories every day of how this company has changed their life and how this has been the light in their life that they needed. And I can tell you right now, before I signed up for Paparazzi, I was in a pretty dark and unhappy place in my life. Just, we were always scraping by. We never had enough money. We were always trying to figure out what bill we were going to pay one month and what bill we were going to skip out on the next. And we just never made ends meet. And I just never felt like we would ever get out of debt. I never felt like there would ever be an end to what we were doing. And so for me, since I've been doing Paparazzi, it's just been the hugest blessing in my life. And for the past year, me and my husband have been able to live just off Paparazzi. This has been our full-time income and business. And he actually did get laid off last year, but because we had Paparazzi coming in, it wasn't a big deal like the time before. So I know I'm so emotional about it because I am so passionate about this company, and I truly I love what I do. And I think if you really are thinking about doing it, just ask yourself, what do you have to lose? I mean, really, for me, it was just it was my way out, and it seemed like something that would better my life. And so I just decided to take all the money that we had in savings. We had barely saved up money, and we took every dollar that we had and put it into a kit. And I'm so glad that we took that leap of faith, because we would probably both be still working full-time, and our kids would probably still be going to daycare had it not been for Paparazzi. So I appreciate you guys being on the call, and hopefully, you can talk to your spouse or your sponsor and really come up with, reasons why you want to do Paparazzi, like with what Lisa was saying. Really, why are you thinking about doing this company? And just come up with a plan and know that your sponsor is there to help you. We're all here to help you succeed in whatever way that is for you. So thanks so much, Lisa.
Thanks, Andrea, for sharing all that. I think she's great for being on the call. Didn't you move today?
Yes, I'm getting moved, but it's all good.
Okay. That's awesome. It's up to you. Andrea, do you want to stay on the call with the questions, or do you need to go?
I can stay on. It's fine.
Okay. All right. If anybody has questions, address me or Andrea, if you want Lisa or Andrea. But if anybody has questions, we can do that for 10, 15 minutes and see if we can help any of you guys. Yeah, go ahead.
I do. This is Angelica. I have a question. If you have somebody that really wants to get signed up and there's just no way they can get the kit and they want to get signed up before Christmas, is it okay for them to do the $40 and still make money with this company?
It's okay. It's just a little bit slower. And so what a lot of us have been recommending is at least try to scrape up $100, because you need inventory to sell. And so if they have $40 to get in and $10 for shipping, it'll give them $50 to be able to buy some stuff. It won't give them a whole lot, but it'll give them about 15 pieces, and then they can sell it and turn around and put all that money back in and keep putting all the money back in. They can't keep anything for themselves until they build up the inventory. It's a hard one. It's smarter to, I think it's business smarter to save up for a kit, but it is Christmas, so you kind of just have to weigh the pros and cons. It's not bad. They can do whatever they want. So does that help you?
Okay. I just, as we're on the call, I just got a message on Facebook, somebody asking what do they need to do to get started.
That is awesome.
Well, thank you.
You'll have to send them this phone call. I'll put it on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm going to go answer this question. I'm going to go on mute.
All right. Does anybody else have another question?
I have a question. This is Debbie Tilly.
Wait, I'm sorry. There's one person that's not muted. I can't really hear. Okay, go ahead, Debbie.
My question, I know I've always been told there's no silly question, but I'm a larger person, and I wanted to know if everything is like a one-size-fits-all, or if because I have several friends who are larger women too, and I want to be able to sell to them and things fit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know what? So necklaces will fit anybody, of course, and then earrings. When you get to bracelets, they're all supposed to be one-size-fits-all. Of course, everybody's different, but all of the bracelets that have a little clasp on them have another 2 inches extra, and so they're all expandable. And then the stretchy bracelets, they're all fairly large, like it shouldn't bother you too much, but of course, because it's cash and carry, they can try it on and make sure it doesn't bother them before they buy it. But it's pretty very much one-size-fits-all for the most part. And the rings are the other ones, and they just barely made the rings stretchy, so you can cut what finger it fits on the most. And the stretchy rings are not all exactly the same size, and so some styles will be a little looser than others. And so when you're showing your friends, make sure they try on the stuff and then find what would work best for them, but it mostly should fit them.
Okay, well, thank you.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome. Does anybody have a question for Andrea or any other, generic questions?
This is Debbie Tilley again. Can I ask one more question?
Yeah, sure.
When you were showing the slideshow and you showed how to do a new order, is that when we place our first initial order? Because I'm not signed up, but I'm really close. I'm really new to all of this. I've been on the website saying I want to wear that, I want to wear that. So when you order for the first time, you go under the person, your sponsor, and you sign it. How do you do that? I mean, will it walk you through when you go in there? Because I've not done that yet.
Yeah,
on
it
how
does.
To order pieces, I mean.
And what did you just say?
On how to order your pieces, or is it just something that's automatically shipped to you, or do you choose your first pieces?
Do you know if you plan to get a kit or not a kit?
Well, I know how much the 100-piece kit is, but I don't know how much the 250-piece kit is.
So the 100-piece kit is $300 plus tax and shipping, and then the 250-piece is $700 plus tax and shipping.
Okay.
And it all comes out to be the same as far as the jewelry's always $275 a piece, and then they give you a chunk of supplies, like pegs and bags and receipts and stuff like that. And the kit is always a better value. They give you 2 books for free as well. So if you can afford a kit, I would for sure get one because you're saving money. But so let's say you're ready to sign up tonight, you would go to paparazziaccessories.com, and then on the main screen at the top it says Business Opportunities. You click that, and then inside there's a button that says Sign Up. And then it'll ask for your sponsor's number, and then it'll have a place for you to fill out your personal information. And then at the bottom of that, it'll ask you which kit you want to buy.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And you can go in there and take it and not put in your credit card and see what it looks like if you want.
Okay.
So that'll help you a little bit.
To Lisa, just as far as the other kits, there's the $1,400 kit. That's a 500-piece kit, and you get a 7% rebate on that. And that's always the one I wish I could have started with because I sold my stuff so quickly, but I didn't have the money at the time. So, and then the biggest kit is a $2,700 kit, and that's a 1,000-piece kit, and you get a 10% rebate on. So that's kind of the advantages. If you have the money to go bigger, you're going to make more money commission-wise because you'll get a 7% rebate. Plus, if you get the $700 kit, you also get free shipping. So any kit above the $300 kit, you get free shipping as well. So.
Yeah, thanks for adding that.
I have a question. This is Stacy. What do you guys do with credit card purchases?
I would recommend getting You mean how to offer letting people buy with a credit card?
Correct.
I would get the Square. Now, when I signed up, the Andrea and her sponsor and all that, they were all using a merchant credit card machine that you have to, like, pay for monthly and all that. So I looked into that because I really wanted to do the best deal ever. And so I called, like, the Costco place and all my banks and all this and looked into stuff. And then I found out about the Square. And since then, PayPal has come out, too. When you do the math, you're better off getting the Square if you're going to transact $400 or less during the month. It's actually cheaper to get the Square. But beyond that, it's still worth it. Like, I've sold a ton, and I still use my Square because most transactions are cash, so don't need to worry that much. And all of the other credit card companies require, like, a credit check, and you have to apply for a merchant bank account. It's a big mess. So the Square thing is free. If you go to squareup.com, you can just order one for free. It's the coolest thing ever. And when I signed up, I, like, connected it to me, like you have to sign up for it, but I didn't connect it to my bank for, like, 3 months. They'll just hold your money until you're ready and where you know where you want to put it. So I just had them hold my money until I opened up my second personal account, and I used that for my business, and I hooked it all together. So
and do they charge you on every transaction?
They do. They charge you 2.75%. And to help you with that, they say that sales go up by 20% if you offer the opportunity to use a credit card. So if you get that 20% minus 2.75, you're actually making, 17 point whatever percent extra you wouldn't have made. So it is worth it. Even though they charge you, it sounds a little scary, but it's worth it business-wise. So I would recommend doing that. And the other thing is the little girls' jewelry that I sell for more than $1. That's one of the reasons I do it. It helps me count for, like, little nickels and dimes there from the credit cards.
And you can, like, if people do want to use credit cards, it's actually just passed the law that you can add a service charge. So if you don't want to lose out on that 2.7% commission, you can charge 25 cents extra or 50 cents extra for them to use a credit card. I don't personally do that, but other consultants do, so it's kind of up to you.
Oh,
so.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, does anybody else have another question? We have time for maybe 2 more questions if anybody has any.
I have a question.
Maybe we'll... Oh, go ahead.
What do you recommend for people who are pretty much too shy to actually talk to people very well?
To sell the jewelry and still do your business?
Yeah.
You know what? Andrea, you're really outgoing, so I'll answer this one because I feel like I am that way or was that way. When I signed up, I had only lived in my town for a year, and so that's why I just invited my church friends, and I was like kind of freaked out because I would never, ever hold a home party for anything ever. But I had to because I just signed up for this jewelry company. And so I did it, and of course I only invited the people I knew. And it went over well, but it took some practice. So there's a couple things you can do. You can throw yourself right in it and make yourself do it. That is what I did because I just told myself I didn't have a choice. So I just threw myself right in, and I had my own launch party, and then I just asked my friends, I'm like, well, any of you guys have a party? And luckily 2 of them knew. One of them sold Scentsy, and she told her friend, and they both signed up to do a party. So you have to make sure you let everybody know that all exists. And having your own launch party is not really as scary as asking somebody else. So hopefully that'll help you a little bit. Another thing is you can let the jewelry speak for itself. You don't have to be a salesman. You don't have to sit and say, this jewelry's so cool because you can do this, this, and this. You don't have to do anything like that. So for real for me, honestly, has been just being real about it. So, if I do a party and I'm at somebody's house, I just walk around and, of course, you smile because you want to be pleasant. And then when they're sitting there looking at some silver necklace, you could be like, oh, my gosh, that is my favorite necklace. You don't even have to, you just be yourself. Just think about how you would act with your sisters or your best friends, and just be their best friends and their sisters for the evening. That's what has helped me a lot. Another thing that you can do is you can market online. You don't have to sell to people you know. And for me, that has actually helped a lot in I'll go to that in a sec. As far as marketing online, you can tell people that you sell it. You can make a Facebook page. You can invite people to do Facebook parties, and it's all, behind your computer screen. So you don't necessarily have to talk face-to-face to anybody during those times. And then the other thing is I'm actually really shy in front of my family for some reason. I do better when I'm with strangers and people that I don't know. So I found for myself that I do best at events because I can just, be a new person. I don't have to be my same old shy self or quiet self or whatever I was. So I do better at events where I don't know anybody, so I can just kind of pretend like I am the queen of paparazzi, and then it's easier to meet people and just pretend you're already confident about it because they don't know your backstory. So you just kind of pretend that you're the expert and pretend that you're the friendliest girl ever and just kind of fake it, and it works. It makes you feel good. You gain confidence by practicing. So that's kind of what I've done. I don't know if that helps with your particular situation. Does that give you some ideas?
That helped a lot. Thank you.
Okay.
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 I have one other story I was going to say. I have a girl that signed up on my team who's extremely shy. And she created one of those spinner wheels that you just put on there, spin if you want to host a party. You can earn free jewelry by spinning. Anyway, she has little games that she does with a spinner wheel at a party because she has a hard time asking people to become consultants or to have a party. And that has been a golden thing for her. She's been able to book a lot of parties, and it's just more of a fun game type thing where she doesn't have to ask people. So that's been something that's worked really well for her. So
that's cool. That's a super good idea. Okay, does anybody else have any other questions before we go?
Well, Lisa and Andrea, this is Debbie Tilley again. I just wanted to thank you guys very much for your time because I am new to this, and I really appreciate you guys taking your time out to help us learn more about the company.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome.
It's fun, isn't it, Andrea?
Yes.
She's like me. We could just blab about this all night.
Me and my husband are packing stuff and moving, but that's how much I love paparazzi. When Lisa asked me to be a part of the call, I was like, sure, sounds good. I'll make it work. So I was just getting ready to disconnect my home line, and I thought we better keep it up so I can be on the call.
Oh, my God.
So we're good. Yeah,
can you hear me?
I appreciate you being on the call. Yes, we can hear you.
I have a question. This is Eva.
Okay.
I was wondering, could you go over with the group, especially for the new people, the potential of the amount of money that people can make? If you want to get specific, fine, but if you don't want to get specific, that's fine too. It just kind of gives them an idea of the possibilities.
I can tell you my experience, and then, Andrea, if you want to add to it, you're welcome to. When you're a director, well, of course, okay, all the time, you can make as much money as you want selling jewelry. Keep that in mind. In fact, the founders of the company the other day recommended, on a phone call or something the other day, they said, base your whole income off your jewelry sales. And then if you get a consultant paycheck, that's just icing on the cake. So keep that in mind. You can sell as much jewelry as you feel like selling. So that's the coolest part, because you don't have to worry about back orders and you don't have to worry about variety. There's plenty of sales to make. So that's the coolest thing. And then, of course, with commission and stuff, that's the other way to make money. That is if you decide to sign people up under you and have a team. And so when you're a director, you usually make approximately $300. Now, these are ballpark figures. Everybody's a little different. When you're a premier director, you make approximately between $300 and $800, something like that. And then when you're a producer, you make around $1,200 to $3,000. And here's how it works. This is what I've just figured out, and this is pretty consistent. If your group volume required, now this is from Premier Director and up, if your group volume required, like look at the group volume required and just take the last two zeros off of it. So the last zero off of it. So as a producer, if you're required to get $12,000 in your volume, just take the zero off and you're going to make a $1,200 paycheck. Or if you're a producer and you do better, and you, like my paycheck, my volume last month was $22,000, my paycheck was $2,200. So that will help you a lot. So if you look at the volume required, then you can just take the zero off, and that's probably how much you'll make. So, Andrea, do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, that seems about right. I mean, just to give you guys all an idea, like my first month I hit director, which is getting 3 people to join your team. My commission check was close to $500. My second month I hit the next rank, which is premier director, and my commission check was close to $1,000. Then my third month I hit producer, and my commission check was about $2,000. And then it really just kind of went up from there. I mean, the next rank is executive producer. So you're making, anywhere from like $4,000 to $6,000 a month, just kind of depending on your volume. And then there's fashionista, and that rank you're making like $6,000 to $12,000 a month. And then there's A-lister. And right now, as far as like fashionistas, there's only 6 of us in the company, and there's one person that just hit A-lister. And your commission check is anywhere from, 12 to 15 to 20,000. And then Maven A-lister, there's only one person that's at that rank, and your commission check is anywhere from 25 to 30,000. And then there's another rank that one person's at. That's my sponsor, Jet Setter, and you can make 30 to 40,000 a month. So I mean, there's definitely room. Like, there's a lot of opportunity to make a lot of money in this company if you build and grow. And right now, the company is so new that you really are getting in at ground floor. There's so many people that haven't heard of it. So if you go for it and you take that plunge to talk to people about it, you can do things online with marketing it as well, getting yourself just in front of people, and you start building a team, you're literally getting in at ground floor. So there's a lot of opportunity there if you want to do that. So, and then you can make a lot of money off the jewelry too. Within the last week, I've sold about $3,100 in jewelry in 1 week. I've been really busy, but, and I make half of that, 45%. So in 1 week, I've made, just off selling jewelry, I've made about $1,400. So besides building a team, you can still make money off the jewelry. And it's really the more time you put in, the more money you're going to make. And it's kind of just up to you, really, on, what you want to do with it. The nice thing is that the jewelry really does sell itself once you get it in front of people. So you don't have to go up there and try and sell this juice product or this something and try and be a salesperson and sell it to somebody. Literally, if you drop a box in front of women that are together, they will go crazy over it. And that's really what drew me to this company, is the product. That's the product and the price point. And those two things together are going to create something where anybody that you sign up that joins your team will see instant results. So hopefully that helps.
That does. That's great. Thank you, ladies.
Yep.
All right. That sounds perfect. Does anybody else have any questions before we wrap it up? All right. I want to thank you all for being on the call, and thanks, Andrea, for sticking around. And I hope you guys catch the vision that we all have. It's like a big fat party. I have a hobby now. I've got 4 boys, and I wasn't doing anything super fun, and I was ready to do a business, and I'm so glad I picked this one. It's just been a ball, and I am totally still wrapped up in it. I love it. So that's it. I will talk to you guys all later, and I'll put this on a YouTube video so you can refer this to your friends in the future, okay? And thanks for being on the call. Have a good night.
Bye. Bye, ladies.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.